Hello and welcome.
She's not on the ball today.
No, I'm not. Oh no, I got my head down doing something. Okay, so today we are going to be adding highlights to a piece, obviously the dog piece that we've been working on for the past few weeks. We're just going to use some simple, really simple tools. I'm going to show you how to do it. If you haven't been here before, I'm Kez. Phil is next to me, reading comments out and questions. Well, thing is just a hand saying hi. So, welcome everybody, and we will get started. If you want to switch camera, please, Phil.
I might do.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we got some really simple tools. Let me just. No, I am out actually. Right. Okay. So we've got some really simple tools to use. We're going to start off.
That light above you is reflecting in the eye today.
Is it? Okay, give me a second. No. Oh, that's better. That's better.
There you go.
Yeah?
Yeah. Otherwise it's washing that eye out.
Okay, let me just move that over there actually.
I need to put a picture up, don't I? There you go.
Yeah, let me just move that back over there. Okay, so the simple tools that we're going to be using today is we're going to be using a rubber. Now, that side rubs out pencil, and this is actually a sand eraser, so it's a bit more for ink, and this is the side that we're going to be using. We are also going to be using just a Stanley blade. You can use a flex cut. There's another knife that I favour to use. So whatever you've got lying around, X-Acto knife, I don't know what else to call them, you know, any sort of scalpel type thing, anything like that. So, and then we are also going to be using just a couple of paintbrushes and some paint. So we're going to start off by using, I'm just going to use this just to start with, just to show you. My favourite is a flex cut or another knife, just because you've got something, you've got a handle to hold on to. But these are just cheap and cheerful. And, if you've got a very good friend like we have, you get them free. But if not, then they're still reasonably cheap to buy. So I'll show you how to use one of these. We are going to start. We've got the highlight above this eyebrow bit here. So what I'm going to do is just scrape a little bit away with this, and then we'll add some paint in.
You're going to zoom in a bit?
Yes, I will do in a second. Was just getting set up so everybody could see what the tools were. So just trying to use the most simplest tools that I can, just because it's just stuff that you've got lying around, rather than, you know, sort of like going and buying anything special or, you know, something like really expensive. I'm going to take a swig of coffee now while you say hi to everybody. Well, we say hi to everybody. You tell me who's in.
Right. And today, in early doors, was Wayne and Auntie Valerie.
Hi, Wayne. Hi,
Bigfoot
Valerie.
Woodcraft. Andrew from AGK Woodworks.
Hi, Andrew.
Andrew from Wivey Woodshed.
Hey, Andrew.
Give me a second.
That's okay.
And guess what?
What?
Andy the Valley Woodcutter.
Hi, Andy.
And Ward Wilson from the west coast of Arizona.
Hey, Ward.
And Debbie says hi as well.
Oh, hi,
Andrew's
Debbie.
Debbie. And that is it.
Okay, so what I'm doing is using this so it's slightly on its side, and I'm just scraping away. Now, I don't want to indent the wood, so I'm very gently scraping away where the highlight will go. You can just put paint straight over the top of there, but if you paint, like if you've got slightly translucent paint, or you don't cover it quite so well, you can end up with a thick piece of paint just to cover like the darker area. So yes, it seems counterproductive to put the burn on and then scrape it away, but trust the process. That's all I can say, is just trust the process.
Wayne Bigfoot says, Andrew, and Andrew. Sounds like a budget firm of solicitors.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. So just lightly scraping away. It won't, the burn won't come off in one pass. You have to do a couple of passes, a few scrapes on across the top of the wood to get to where you want it to be. You try to scrape it, you'll gouge the wood, and you really do not want to gouge the wood. because it looks fugly. So we can add a few like little, like the hair and stuff. Well, fur, not hair, isn't it? So if the few bits of fur you can start adding in with this. You've got a little bit in this eye.
That is just a standing knife blade.
Yes, it is just a standing knife blade. You can use whatever you've got. I've just started off with the cheapest thing. That's all I've started off with. Just because most people have got a standing knife blade knocking around somewhere. As long as it's reasonably sharp, because believe it or not, they have to be sharp rather than dull. So what we've got in this eye here, see if I can zoom in a little bit more. What we've got in this eye, you can see the bottom part here. Okay, now just in there, you've got a little watermark, like little catch like water. So what I'm going to do is just gently take that bit away. And then there's another little bit just here in the corner where the tear duct would be. I don't know if the dogs have got tear ducts, have they?
Yeah.
They have. They don't generally cry, do they? But right, and then you've got this side, you've got the same thing. So we're just going to scrape that little bit away. Now on these little sections, I don't generally put the paint down on these tiny bits here, on these catch lights. But there you go. So there's that. That's just made that just that little bit more real.
It was realistic to be in the first place.
Yeah. And then we've actually got a little bit of an eye bogey actually, just here. So that's just.
And Wayne says, does that mean I can use Valerie's expensive kinetic knife? No, that doesn't mean you can use her knife because you break everything you borrow.
I'll let you fight Valerie for that.
And
just zoom this out a minute.
Mr. Keep It Classy himself's arrived. Huey Lionheart.
Huey, how you doing? So now we've put the catch lights in, just like the little water bit, like watermarks, because obviously your eye's not dry, is it? So that's what we've put in there. Now what I'm going to do, we're making sure that we're staying with the direction of the fur. I know I keep saying that. I've said that for weeks and weeks and weeks, but it really is important. So we're just scraping these bits away here. We're going to add little singular bits in just in this darker patch here, just so it looks more realistic and looks like the fur that it's supposed to be. So trying to make sure that it's with the direction. Ooh. I'm going to go just round here. Now what we're going to do with this bit, because the head goes that way, that is how we've got to go here. So we're going with the direction of the fur, but we've got to follow this line around.
Well, you have to be careful now.
Why?
Andrew from AGK is telling on you now.
Why? What have I done?
He's just informed Huey that you've been keeping it classy so far.
I have, but we have only just started. And Huey's only just landed, so you know. So just following that outer headline. But keeping it in the fur direction. You can see that that's starting to come away nicely now. Right, what we've got up here is a few fur bits. So we're just going to add, you don't have to do everything. Just turn it around. No, it's sharper the other way. You don't have to do every single little detail. It's just adding in just just a little bit, so it just looks like the fur. So you've got that the fur texture, and it is just slightly lighter with the fur, with the darker, slightly dark fur underneath. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sort of.
Well, what you've got is that you've put we've put the texture down first, so we've got slightly darker. Then we've gone over with the like soft blending to blend it in, and then what you're doing is you're just scraping a little bit away, so this adds just that extra layer of fur. Stop laughing at me, you.
I wasn't. I'm well laughing at Wayne.
Okay.
Wayne says you're okay, Kaz. Keeping it classy to Huey's level is pretty low. Is a pretty low bar anyway.
Thanks, Wayne.
Don't encourage you, mate. Don't encourage you.
No, I don't need encouraging. So earlier in the weeks, we've had a couple of these really, really dark patches. Now is the time here where I'm just going to scrape them away slightly, so they're not quite as dark and not quite as prominent. They weren't supposed to be there, but like I said before, you don't need to worry about the mistakes because you can fix them. You can fix them. That's actually a hole in the wood, but we'll scrape it a little bit.
Yeah, it just hides it slightly, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. That's what you're aiming to do. I mean, you know, nothing ever comes out perfect. It'll always have, you know, some not defects, but I can't think of a better word at the moment. You'll always have some bits that are not quite right to your eye, but when somebody else looks at them, you know, they don't see them. And when they don't know they're there, that's all good. Right.
Change your camera view if you're going down.
No, I was actually just thinking about coming down this side. So I've done one side. I'm going to do the other side now. There's just a little bit just above this eyebrow here.
And Rob, on his personal account, arrived.
Hey up, Rob. How are you doing?
And he says, I came out perfect, my mummy said. After all, after doing all.
Nothing wrong with that. So it actually comes down to about here. So there we go. So anybody that's just joined, we're just using a Stanley blade. That's all we're using. Just cheap and cheerful. You can use what you've got. So if you've got anything, you know, sort of fancier, knife-wise, that you prefer to use, go ahead and use it.
I think you've used all sorts, haven't you?
I have used all sorts. It's just, to be honest, it's just whatever I've got to hand at the time. I don't particularly have anything special. If I'm going anywhere, I'll generally carry the flex cuts around with me, just because they've got a nice handle, and you can just hold them like that. So it's just using the blade on the side. This one's a bit blunt now. But yeah, you can just use the flex cut on its side. But I mean, I use the Stanley blades just for the simple fact is that they're just cheap and cheerful. And say most people have got them hanging around.
And Rob says we've got to choose the 4 grits for our prize.
Oh, cool. Whatever he says.
I'll talk to you after the new year, Rob. Need to sort other things out anyway, mate. So
just what I'm gonna do is show you. This bit here is actually quite a large area. So what I'm gonna do is show you. Yeah.
Move it towards you slightly so we can get the top in. That's it.
There. So what we've got here is on this section on the iPad. I've actually got quite a white piece.
Doesn't look so white on the.
No, it doesn't, but it
photo.
does look quite white on here. And what you're seeing on screen is actually what I'm seeing on screen here as well. So it may be just the iPad screen. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is this bit here is quite a bit whiter, or a lighter, should I say. So what I'm going to do is just use the sand eraser.
And Anita Ball has joined us. Afternoon, Anita.
Hey, Anita.
Or probably morning for you.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know where she is. Eastern time, it's 11:15. So, yeah, it would be morning, wouldn't it?
Morning, yeah.
So, I'm just doing actually circular motions because we don't want... You're taking some of the burn off, but not too much. We don't want to take too much off. Here we go. And that's just lightening that nicely, isn't it? Can you see it on the camera?
You can see it.
Yeah. A little bit over here.
The camera's gone back now. I think focus on your hand for a minute.
Oh, sorry. Well, I don't know what I'm saying sorry for. I can't help what the camera does. So we've got a little bit here. I'm just going to take that away. So it's just rubbing it. Sand eraser, I don't know what happens, but it just works an absolute treat when you only want to take a smidge off.
There's another one of your technical terms.
Yeah, smidge. You tell me you haven't used smidge before. So, yeah, there we go. And we've just got a bit on this top of this ear here where the light is catching. There we go. Can also get rid of that. We've got a little bit of like where the carbon paper was. I've got a little bit of that, so I'm just going to rub that out of the top there, which won't do it any harm anyway, because that bit needs to be slightly lighter. So there we go, on that bit there. Now, for this bit, you've got a little bit here. Is the camera picking that up?
Yeah, you can tell. It doesn't show instantly, but when you've done it a few times.
Yeah, just there. And then...
Andrew says, is a smidge bigger than a gnat's whisker? A gnat's whisker even?
Yeah, it is just a little bit bigger than a gnat's whisker.
Why? I read that. Exactly.
Right, we've got a lighter piece just down here, and it goes up there. So we're just going to go like that on that side. And then the other side.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my watch is shouting at me now. And then we're going to come down the muzzle there. There we go. And then the next piece we've got is a white piece that comes around this part here. So we're going to go from there.
And Wayne People says, is smidge a larger measurement than a smidgen? Or is it smaller? Only asking because it's not on any of my tape measures. I'm still checking. Well, you'll be there for a while with the amount of tape measures you've got to check.
Oh my gosh, you lot. You're so funny. It's bigger than a gnat's whisker. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Okay, so I've just done that bit down there, and you can't see. I've just done this bit here and this side here. So that's actually gone a little bit harsh. You can see that there's a really round line. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is just take it in a little bit. So it's kind of like feathering it. There we go. And we've just got rid of that really sort of like harsh line. And that is looking pretty good, actually. I think I'm just going to go a little bit up on this ear here. So just a bit there. And this is just a really, really quick way of adding highlights when you only need a little bit rather than sort of like too much. So round that side. You just got to make sure, obviously, that you're careful as to where don't, you know, rub it, because obviously it does rub the burn off on that side as well there. But you wouldn't
Apparently,
think
Huey
so.
says don't use the measurements from the filthy Stanley rule measure. I'm assuming there's a rude version of the standard tape measure out there.
Oh, we'll have to look for that. That sounds like my kind of tape measure. So that side, and I think we'll give a little bit on that side there. Go over that bit that we've just done on the eyebrow, and then down this bit here. So it's catching all these catch lights in. But if you look at that, now you can just see where we've done, you know, sort of like the rubbings out, just adds to the overall. What are you giggling at? You sound like Muttley.
Sorry.
Well,
Wayne says, oh, I have a tape measure that has Nat's whisker on it. As it's before imperial measurements, it must be Valerie's.
Get him, Valerie. Just a little bit there, actually. So.
When I come to visit you on Wednesday, mate, you'll be black and blue.
Yeah, that's the one. Right, I think I'm happy with that now. You could keep going forever and ever and ever with this. You really,
You're going to get them carbon marks on one side.
Which one? Those ones there?
Yeah.
They're whiskers, darling.
Well, are you going to put them in then, or leave them as carbon?
They're white whiskers. They're going in with paint.
Okay. I'll shut up, shall I?
Dear me. Oh, I'm just going to have a swig of coffee. Is that all right?
No.
Oh, dear. Right. That does remind me, then. I'm going to use this one because it's just a little bit sharper. I am going to just move that up there to zoom that in, because I'm just going to scrape. You have reminded me, actually. I need to scrape away where the whiskers go. Push that up a little bit.
So it was useful for something then.
Yeah, you are useful. Right, so these whiskers here, we don't really need to think about as such, but we have got whiskers on this side. There is a couple on here.
It took us that long to do it. This dog's got blooming grey hairs already.
Oh dear me.
You know where that came from.
This has actually been a quick one. So we have got a whisker that comes here. So we're just going to scrape that around where that whisker would go. Not digging into the wood, not at all. We are just.
And Anita says, in other words, Phil, leave the details to the expert. Yeah, good plan, Anita.
Thanks, Anita. So whiskers cross over in all sorts of different places, so just be wary of them.
They're showing up well on the camera.
Yeah. There we go. There, aren't they? So just gently scraping away. You can see that I'm scraping and then going over again, just because I don't want to indent the wood. Now, what you can do, and it's something that I haven't personally done yet, but I have got the tools to do it, is what you can do. You can get like an indenting tool. Phil bought me some for Christmas. You get an indenting tool, and what you can do is when you are transferring your design down, you can actually leave the whiskers and don't go over with a pencil, and then just use the indenting tool to go over and push into the wood slightly with a very thin indenting tool. And what that does, when you burn over the top, it means that you don't have to scrape away afterwards. So you can, there are several different ways to do it, and I will try that now I've got an indenting tool. But I didn't have one before, so just something to try in the new year, I think. Something to try. We've actually got whisker that goes there. There we go. So I've got some whiskers in there. We've got some that's coming down here. And when you burn over the top after the indenting tool, because it's gone in, the surface of the burn goes over the top, so it actually leaves the white just nice.
You think it does? You haven't used it now. Yeah.
I have seen it done on like pencil. When I do a lot of coloured pencils, and I've seen it done on that kind of thing, but I'm yet to try it on like the wood. I can't see why it wouldn't work. Just pulling that down. You will find sometimes with the grain of the wood that it wants to pull one direction more than the other. Just go with whichever direction it is, because obviously grain flows better one way than it does the other. It kind of goes against the grain.
Yeah, you're going with the grain rather than
You're better off going with the grain when you're scraping things like this, but it's not always possible. So you've got a little one just there. Why does everybody want you when you're doing something? So
we've got lots of head in the way now.
Sorry. It's because I've had to push this board forward, and now I'm trying to lean in to see what I'm doing. Old age and eyes, you know.
Old age.
Oh, getting older. There we go. So we've got those in nicely. Actually, we've got a little bit of just above that nose. So just gently. There we go. There we go. Right. Just going to take that out a little bit. I'll pull that towards me, I think. I need that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start with my favourite part first, the eyes. And the next bit, all we're going to do is, I've just got it's titanium white paint. And we don't need much at all.
And that's an acrylic.
It's just a matte acrylic, so it's not like the pearlescent or anything like that. It's just a matte acrylic, and you just need the tiniest bit on the tiniest brush, just a smidge. Actually, just on paper. So I've got some paper here. This brush's hairs is sticking everywhere.
Uh-oh.
Just get a new brush. The brush's hair, what it's doing is the hairs on it, can you see? It is literally going everywhere. That is not what you want when you're doing these kind of details, because you need it in one nice smooth move. So let's try and find a different one. Right. A second. This is a different one, and you can see all the little brush hairs are together, and that's what you're looking for doing eye details. So we'll try again. So actually, just put a bit of paint on here. So all I've done is just got a little bit of paint on my, just a bit of kitchen roll really. What I'm going to do is just add. Now I'm just dotting this in. Nothing special. Just dotting it in. Just using the very, very tip of the paintbrush. You don't need to, like this, press the paintbrush down at all. You're just literally using the tiny, tiny tip, which is one of the reasons why you needed such, your brushes close, the bristles close together. There we go. Looking at that now, how much more realistic does that one look to that one there? There is a big difference now. What I'm going to do is just this side over here. Just dotting it in.
Huey says, thanks, Kez. You said titanium, and now I have that song stuck in my head again. It's at times like this when I'm so glad within temptation to diversion.
Okay. It's rather random there, Huey. So as you can see, those eyes are just what we need. Okay, so.
And Rob from Coppola Woodton has joined us.
Hi, Rob. Right, so what I'm going to do now is push that up there. And what I'm going to do is do some of these whiskers.
And Rob from Kingsport says, oh, gold. Everyone pray Kez don't mention Cliff Richard.
Oh, my gosh. Right, so what I've done here, because we've scraped away, I've put the paint in the ditch of the where I've scraped it away, and all I'm doing is rubbing my finger along to rub it into where we've scraped away. And there is no technical term for this. This is just what I've found works, because I don't want it quite as bright white, but I want it in onto the wood. And when you're doing whiskers, it's really, really hard, because leaving that like that is just really, it's unnatural. But if I go like this, just rub it in, it then becomes more natural. So you're kind of putting it on and then taking it off, but because your finger doesn't get into the part where you've scraped it away, it just works.
Your finger doesn't get it, goes over the top of the groove.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does go over the top of the groove, and it just works. I don't know how I found that.
You probably put white paint on and thought, I don't like that.
Yeah, and rub it off. Yeah, and then go, oh, actually, that looks quite good. Probably knowing me. Flatten that bristles a little bit. Where was I? We'll go here. There we go. There we go. Go this side now.
Yeah, it's toned down even the scratch marks.
Yeah,
you
it
must
does.
have dirty hands.
No, I haven't. Wait, let me stick on your face. There we go. So what we've got here is just a little bit on here, and actually that's a little bit too much. Just take that off. But again, there, and I just rub it. Yeah, it just works. I don't know why it works, but it works. Just sort of dulling it down a little bit. Right, so what we've got is down the side of this face, and
that's cool. Yeah, Wayne, that's quite a big paintbrush for Kaz.
That is quite a big paintbrush. I'm actually going to another size up. So what I'm going to do here,
Wayne was saying, it's not, if that's the size of your paintbrush, Kaz, no wonder the fireplace took so long.
Yeah, yeah.
You mean the fireplace she still hasn't finished?
Yeah. Actually, I did a lot of that with a sponge. So what I'm going to do is just dab the paint into the bristles, but I'm also dabbing it off again. So just dabbing it down.
And Mr. Jamie Page has joined us from JP Woodwork.
Hey, Jamie, bye. So we're just dabbing up here, and again, we're going to rub. And then down this side a little bit, and just rub it off. So you put it on and rub it in. There we go. And then you've got some down here. So just on the dab section, I'll put my finger in my paint now. So there we go. So that's that bit there done. Actually, pull it down a little bit. So we've got just a little bit over the top here. Now this is nearly dry brushing this on. So just dabbing it in and then rubbing it. And what we'll do later is we'll go over with the rubber and just blend those little bits in. So more paint, dab it. What we're going to do is go over this side here. Just dab that a little bit more. Over here. Just dab that in there.
It's a bit harsh.
What?
A bit.
It is a little bit harsh, but I ain't going to worry about it. The good thing with acrylic is if you don't want it on there, on this thing, you can use your nail, you can use a rubber, you can use a knife, just scrape that a little bit away. You haven't got to worry about how harsh it is.
And Alex has joined us. Where's the wood butcher?
Hey up, Alex.
He says it's late again to the party.
That's all right. So just adding those bits in there. And now we've got down here where this nose is. I'm just going to add a little bit down here.
And Jacob from Jacked Up Leatherworks has joined us.
Hey up, Jacob. So for those of you that have just joined, we have used a Stanley blade just to scrape away some of the darker sections to make them a little bit lighter. We've also used a rubber. But this is the rubber for pencil, and this side is a sand eraser for ink. So we've used the ink side just to rub away a little bit of the burn. And now what we're doing is adding the highlights with the paint. As you can see, some of it is a little bit harsh, but I'm not worrying about that right now. We've added the eyes in, and they are fine. I'm going to leave them as they are. But these sections up here just are a little bit harsh. I'm just plotting the paint in at the moment. Just got a little bit of white titanium paint, just a splodge on my tissue, and then I'm getting some paint on the paintbrush and then dabbing it off on the tissue. So it's almost dry brushing, but not quite to the extent of dry brushing. So I've still got a little bit more paint on than what I would if I was dry brushing. So I'm just going to go down this side here And then I'm just putting the paint on in the lighter sections and then rubbing it in with my finger. I think that actually that brush is a little bit too big for that bit. So I'm going to do the same with this. Just rubbing it with your finger just dulls it down just enough so it looks okay.
It doesn't look like you've painted it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you've painted it. You know, I mean, a lot of people look at the pieces that I do and they don't actually realise that there's any paint even on there. So, you know, it's done okay, I suppose. Right, so drive that and just stick some just here. And I'm just going to rub that bit there. But until you know it's there, you've got no idea. I'm just going to go this section here.
Everybody knows it's there now.
Yeah, everybody knows it there now. Yeah, absolutely.
Jacob says it looks amazing, Kaz.
Thanks, Jacob.
As she'd say to me, it's not finished yet.
No, it isn't finished yet, but so just adding a little bits of paint in the here and there. That's it. Right. Leave that where it is. What we've got here, we've got some harsher bits over here. I'm just going to rub them out. Actually, use the sand bit. Thought it might do it with a rub bit, but it's not. Do it with the sand bit. Now I'm only doing very gently because I don't want to rub the burn away. I'm just rubbing. I'm just trying to blend the paint in a little. I do have a few weird tricks with pyrography, but it seems to work, so I'm just going to stick with it. There's no technical terms for anything. Just what works, I guess, for me. And hopefully for you if you try. See what I mean by that? It's just dulled that down enough, hasn't it?
Yeah. There's just that bit on the one ear that's still a bit harsh.
This bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting there. Just going over that bit again there.
I'm turning into an art critic.
So blend it from that side there. So there's still some on there. There you go. Just taking that off a little bit more. So did everybody have a good Christmas?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. You never do know. Just going to go over these whiskers just a little bit. Just to take the the paint's gone into the scraping of the canal bit, just cleaning up the bits that would be over, like the overspill of the canal as such, where we've scraped it down. Like I say, not technical, just what works. There we go. What I'm going to do actually is that little bit there is a bit. So I'm just going to take that up there, just blend that in a little bit. A bit there. But basically that is all she wrote, folks. There we go. 15 minutes to spare. We have a finished puppy. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see when you look at it up close, you can see all the bits. You know, you see where the things are because you know that they're there now.
Those eyes keep following you.
Yeah, those eyes keep following you. So yeah, I mean, But yeah, that is literally one done puppy.
So Huey says,
Nice and simple.
yeah, busy but fun.
Good, good.
Hope you did too.
Mm.
Jacob says he's had a relaxing Christmas.
They're nice Christmases when they're relaxing.
And Alex says it's been quiet but busy with mother.
Yeah, brilliant. Quiet but busy. How do you be quiet but busy?
I suppose we've had a relatively quiet one, but busy with the kids. So
Well,
we
yeah.
worked.
I suppose it does. It does. But, yeah. So.
So what are you going to do next?
Ooh, I've got a nice surprise for that one. Nice surprise. So we will be starting something new next week. I don't know what the date is next week. It would be the 6th, wouldn't it?
Oh my God, it would have looked on January, wouldn't it?
It's looking on December.
It will be the 7th.
7th. So we will be back at the same time, Sunday the 7th. And we have got something new. What we're going to do is start with elements. So rather than sort of like something like this, like a full design, what we're going to do is elements that we can kind of finish in 2 to 3 weeks. And we'll work on sort of like more in depth on sort of like eyes, noses and things like that, or paws, whatever elements come around, because I'm not telling you just yet because it's a nice surprise. But yeah, it's sort of just working on different elements and working sort of like out how to do the tonal values and stuff like that, and explain a little bit more about those. So that's where we're going to go next time. If you do have any requests, then give us a shout and we'll drop them in. But we've got quite a few like scheduled out for the next few months, so it might not be towards the end of the year that you see the stuff that you want. But yeah, I mean,
Wayne said he had a quiet one and then he visited Huey. And
he's saying that your house is loud, Huey.
Rob from Klingsport's got a question for you.
What's that? Go for it.
What do you use to seal that?
What do I use to seal that? I either use a Rubio oil, the pure, or I'll use Odie's oil, which is the clear one. You can also use like a polyacrylic if you want to spray something on like that. You can use all sorts of different things. Just go for a clear. If you go like tung oil or something like that, you're going to get a yellow tinge. And when you've worked hard to get the tonal values correct, you don't want the yellow or orange tinge. So aim for something that's really, really clear. But yeah, other than that, whatever you've got to hand. I mean, if you've got anything, spray lacquer or anything like that, I've used that kind of thing. So just whatever you got to hand. It's also personal preferences whether you want a shiny surface afterwards or a matte surface. I prefer a matte surface because when you're looking at it, if it's up on the wall and you're looking at it, you haven't got the light doesn't bounce off it as much and things like that. So I like a matte finish so I can see the picture. I'm just greedy and like to see it all.
Yeah, the Odie's oil gives a matte finish.
Yeah, the Odie's oil gives a matte finish. The Rubio oil gives a lovely silky finish. It's absolutely beautiful.
But it yellows slightly.
It does slightly, but they all do slightly. It's just the least yellowing, because I mean the worst thing you can do is have like a person portrait and you put a finish on and they've gone yellow and they look jaundice. You're not looking for that. You're looking for skin tones or as close to you can get with a wood burner. So I think I have a child trying to come in the workshop.
Oh, I don't think you do.
No. Either that or it's the dog trying to get in.
I think you've got a puppy trying to get
it's
it.
a puppy dog trying to get in the workshop. He's a munchkin. But yeah, so anything that you've got. Oh my God. Puppy dog, hello. He said hello. There she is. The one we've just finished. So yeah. No, she's not there. Yeah. So you want to say hello? She's indecisive. But yeah, anything like that you've got finished, as long as it's something clear and it doesn't go on a yellow tinge. Unless you want that, you know, I've had pieces, we did the carnival row piece and it warranted a yellow tinge. So we did put something on that had got a yellow tinge.
Yeah, give him more of a Victorian look, didn't it?
Yes, and that is what I was aiming for. So it just depends what you're doing. I've never tried a wax or anything though.
No.
I've never tried a wax because I'm always a bit funny about, you know, buffing over the top, because I mean, as you can see what the rubber did, you don't want that. You don't want to rub it in. Whatever you use, if you use an oil, make sure you rub it in with just a soft cloth, just a rag or something. So, but yeah, I think we're done. I think I've done rambling, unless you've got any more questions.
Mm.
Where you go? Where are you, Luna Bug? So, no more questions?
No, not at the moment.
No? Okay, so
Jamie was requesting 2 trays of cheesy nachos.
Pyro. Pyro food. Brilliant. They're to keep then, Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll pyro them so you can look at them.
Yeah, so you can look at what you could be eating.
Look at them longingly.
Yeah, longingly what you could be eating. But yeah, no, apart from that, I hope everybody has a fantastic new year. Whatever you are doing tonight, we are doing absolutely bugger all, as usual. Might play a game or watch the telly or something really super exciting. But if you guys are doing something super exciting, fabulous. So thank you so much for joining us this year. It has been absolutely fantastic for you guys to join and talk and things like that. It's been absolutely fabulous. So I want to say
thank you to everybody else that's joined the group.
Yeah,
and keep supporting us on the various social medias.
Yes, definitely. Although I must get posting on that. I keep forgetting to post, so I do apologise. Must post more. So, right, we will see you next week, same time, for something new. See you soon, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.